What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Saints Row. They actually did provide me a code for this game. They did it after the game had launched, so that's why this is super late. And I do want to thank them, and as I always say with these videos, and trust me, you'll find out this one is no different. Just me getting the code doesn't mean, you know, I'm bound by anything. I'm not allowed to say certain things. I will say what I feel about this game. So I do appreciate them giving the code out and doing it to as many people as they did. And in terms of the game itself, I personally think it's awful. I think this is an awful game. There is a couple good things about it. I also don't want to come across like, I guess, maybe most people online where it's like, it's my way or the highway. If you had fun with this game, you should go like publicly shame yourself. No, honestly, you do whatever you want to do with your money. I'll do what I want to do with my money, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, right? So if you're enjoying this game, if you're having fun, I respect that. I wish you the best of the fun. You know, I hope you have as much fun as possible. I will not, though. I will draw the line there. If you tell me that you think this game is, like, really good, like you want this to be the standard for open world games, then we would start to have a problem. Because the game is just factually, in my opinion, it's a bad game. Can you have fun from it? Yeah, I actually think you can. There are some fun missions. If you told me you enjoy, like, the shooting mechanics of this game, I wouldn't doubt you, because it is the shooting mechanics of a 15-year-old game, but that doesn't mean it's bad, right? I actually just got done. One of my last games I just played was Destroy All Humans 2, the remake, Reprobed, which was a game that released, I believe, in 2006 or so, and you can feel, obviously, the age on that, and yet it's still fun. So the point is, you know, is the gun combat, is it new? No, it literally feels 15 years old. Is that bad? I think it's bad. I think it's bad. But does that mean you can't have fun with it? No, I actually think you can have fun with it. There is little to no depth of the gunplay. You do the same thing every single mission, and the enemies are all the same, and, you know, the way you take them enemies out are all the same. That does lead into one good thing in this game, which are the takedowns, right? If you get, like, close to an enemy and they light up blue, you can do, like, the specialized takedown. Those are pretty cool. Those are actually pretty unique. I like them. You see them all pretty quickly, especially if you do them often, right? And you kind of should. I believe they actually give you health in the game, so it's something you should do somewhat often. And they are fun. I mean, they're kind of clever. They're creative. Fine. All right, fine. After that, I mean, again, like, the combat of this game is just not new. It's not modern. And the game itself isn't new or modern. This is a game that if you told me that this was a PS3... I am dead serious. If you told me this game was a PS3 game, all I have to do is look at it or touch the controller to realize you're telling me the truth, only to find out, I guess, you lied to me and that the game came out in 2022, right? Because the game visually looks atrocious. It looks really bad. The pop-ins in this game are very bad. They remind me of Prototype, but honestly, I think they're worse than Prototype. Prototype came out in 2009, by the way. I like to we should throw the years out because it makes sense to do that here. But the pop-ins are bad. Like, when you're driving, there could be things that are like 15 feet away from you that come into frame that, you know, pop in. I can get over it. Like I actually like Prototype quite a bit. It's one of my favorite games of all time, like a guilty pleasure kind of way. But that game is actually atrocious when it comes to pop-ins. It hurts the game. And this hurts the game too. You know, if it's smaller things, if it's like the grass, actually, Destroy All Humans 2, when I reviewed that game, I talked about that. It actually takes a while in the cutscenes of that game for the grass to, like, load in, for textures to pop up, and you could see it real time. It is distracting, but it doesn't happen all the time, and actually in the open world in Destroy All Humans, it's fine. So, you know, I mean, like, I can put up with it to a certain extent is what I'm kind of getting at. And I guess that's kind of the whole point of this game and the whole point of probably any review. It's how far can you push yourself to play it? Here's my main, like, argument, or my main thing I would say, like, the people that like it, right? Again, I respect it and it's fine, but I just feel like if you came to me, which I guess is what you're technically doing by watching the video, if you come to me and say, like, should I play this game? Well, my answer to you would be, if it's free, there's really no harm. If it's like $10, you know, what's $10 to you? That's an individual thing. Maybe you get it. But also, then I have to think, well, I've played like 30 games this year. I actually did a ranking back in July. I've played probably 6 or 7 more games since then. I've played a lot, and I'm going to continue to play games, new games, that come out, you know, the rest of the year. I can't say that this is better than any of them. So, like, while playing it for free is like, well, you're not losing any money, it's also like, well, you're losing time. Time, at least to me, time is precious. So when I'm playing this game, all I'm thinking about is I could play, literally, I'm having an itching to play old Assassin's Creed games. I'm going to be playing Black Flag. That game is like 2013, 14. I would easily rather play that game. You know, so it's that. It really is that kind of mindset to me where it's like, I'd rather play anything except for Saints Row. The writing, I mean, we haven't even talked about like the major negatives, right? The world is pretty bad, but the writing is absolutely atrocious. I don't expect Saints Row to like make me cry or like make me feel a certain kind of emotion. You know, I mean, it's not what the game is for, but the characters in this game are so bad. The dialogue, the actual written words are really bad. The voice acting is not very good. And, you know, those smaller moments, just like when you're walking down the street in an open world game, you know how characters will sometimes throw out one-liners? I think we don't give games enough credit for doing them right, because so oftentimes, right, in a game, you're walking down the street and there's things going on and nothing like stands out. And that's a good thing. Nothing should stand out. In this game, you'll be walking down and either a bug or a glitch happens, or you'll just have some really bad dialogue that just kind of pops up. Somebody will call you, or you'll start a mission, or your character will throw out like a funny one-liner that's not funny. Maybe they're underappreciated in other games because you don't really know what you got in them, right? Because only until you realize that they can break the flow of the game do you realize that they can be bad. And that's what you get here. The story's not good. The characters are not good. I mean, but bigger than all of that, again, like, it does feel like a very old game. And there's nothing wrong with old games. I'm kind of in a kick for playing old games. A lot of my favorite games of all time are old games. But this game just doesn't hold up in any way. Like, everything feels old. The combat, the driving, the mechanics, these missions, a lot of them are pretty lazily done. And then you get to like, well, is the story okay? No. Is the graphics okay? Like, no. So, like, what in this game can you enjoy? Again, I do think if you want to literally turn off your brain, you just go around, start missions, have fun, shoot things. Like, there is, I think, fun to be had. But again, that goes into the more personal, literally you versus me or versus anybody. Do you want to spend your money? Like, is that worth it? If you really want to have fun in this game, is it worth putting the money down or even playing it for free? Because then the second part of that is, would you rather play this game or any other game? I could recommend you 25 plus games that came out this year that you should play. Again, all in my opinion, of course, but I could recommend you 25 plus games you should play this year over Saints Row. So is it really worth playing this game? No. And also, again, in terms of setting the bar, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like, what kind of bar are you trying to set here by having this game come out? I don't know. I don't know what the bar is. That's a lazy kind of, you know, bringing back a franchise that has a popular name. People know the brand. But there's not, and, you know, I didn't even talk about that aspect of it. And to be honest, I don't really want to or need to. There's, of course, the debate of how they've handled it, right? How they've talked to people on Twitter, how they've, you know, abandoned the old-time Saints Row for a more progressive feel, and then how they have responded to fans who have felt one way or another about that. I mean, honestly, again, like, I'm looking for Saints Row to have, like, a comedic charm and maybe touch on some of those, like, poke fun at pretty much everything. The game doesn't do that, right? The game plays it very safe in a lot of departments. So if you're looking even for, like, but I'm not even going in expecting, like, a Saints Row game. I'm just expecting any old open world game. Give me an open world game, and then, you know, you tag on Saints Row. That's fine, but that's not even what we got here. It doesn't have the soul of Saints Row. And then in terms of the mechanics, it's bad. So if you're in it just for the Saints Row elements, well, you know, for most people, or a lot of people at least I've seen online, they've done that dirty. And then if you just want, like, an open world fun game, yeah, maybe. There's, again, like, there is a sense to the combat that's not, you know, horrific or horrible, right? I do think the combat is, I would still say it's vastly below average. I don't know if I would say it's absolutely horrible, but again, it gets repetitive, and it does feel very old. There is something, I guess, special to that. There are some missions. There are some missions that I do think are well done, that are actually, like, written pretty well in terms of, I guess, what you have to do in them. The LARPing one is actually one that comes to mind immediately. There are okay ones in this game. But, again, like, would I recommend it over anything? I wouldn't recommend this game for 20, 25, 30 bucks. So I'd recommend it lower than that. And then, also, if you get it for free, it's like, well, did you play Ghostwire Tokyo this year? Because that game is actually kind of awesome, specifically compared to this game. Have you played Dying Light? I mean, we could just go through open world games. I'm sure I could find one for, you know what I mean? So that's where we're at. Again, I went in with an open mind. I really did. But the dialogue immediately gets you in a bad way. The the characters, the story, they all don't, at least for me, they don't get me. And I don't know. I much rather would be playing other games than this game, and that's what I've chosen to do. I should be transparent. Let's do it for transparency's sake. I didn't beat this game. I didn't beat it. I feel like I've absolutely played enough of it to know what to say to you guys. I know there's a lot of bugs and glitches. I've experienced them. The game is very broken. I do think fixing those things would help, but it only helps like I don't think this game is massively better off with these bugs fixed. In fact, maybe it's more funny to laugh at the game with the bugs in it. I do know there's like a game-breaking bug, like the last boss, battle of the game, I heard. So maybe it gets worse, the bugs and glitches and stuff. So I don't know, it's just not worth it for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you've watched probably other people play it, I assume a lot of you have. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.